Hi there, Steve McGee, returning for the 2025 Parliamentary Sitting Weeks, first week back in early February, and today's the 6th of Feb, happens to be my mother's birthday. She would have turned 100 today if she'd been alive, so she's been passed away for 52 years, longer than what she was alive. So anyway, to pass over that, it's been quite an interesting week, first week back, as I say. The week's gone fairly quickly. 3 pieces of legislation. I spoke today on the Retirement Villages Amendment Act. This is about strengthening up and amending the Retirement Villages Act of 1986 and improving it, making it more secure for our people that are living in retirement villages or wanting to move in and out of them. And it's a good amendment, and it will get passed tonight in Parliament when we finish later on. The other one was the consumer planning housing statement legislation, and that's to do with improving things for renters, and that's also a very good bill. In particular, things like making sure that smoke alarms and other alarms are compulsory in rental properties, and it stems out of a death in Ballarat where unfortunately a gentleman by the name of Simon Scarf was burnt to death in a residence in Ballarat that did not have, he was a disabled person that did not have smoke alarms, and his family have campaigned on this issue, and we thank them for that. And they were in the chamber or in the gallery during the week when this legislation was debated, so it's very important. There's some other improvements too in regard to renters and rental properties and things like that, so very good legislation. And the third one is the anti-vilification legislation. That's been debated this week, but it's not being voted on, and this is a very important piece of legislation to try and combat against hate speech and the way people, or some people, will respond to, in particular, some of our minority groups. But it is important legislation. It looks like the opposition will vote against it when it goes to a vote, which is really disappointing. But it's an important piece of legislation. I did a member statement earlier in the week on Tuesday. That was about a lot of the projects that are progressing in Melton, like the hospital, the level crossings, Melton Railway Station, the TAFE College, 2 new schools, one at Cobblebank, one at Weir Views. Amazing. The skyline in Melton is going to be changing very shortly, and I know some people will be frustrated with the the restrictions with traffic movement and things like that, but if we want this infrastructure built, sometimes there's got to be a little bit of pain in the short term, but you will be pleased to see the outcomes of some of these projects. And the level crossings, the railway station will be complete by 2026, and the hospital by 2029. You'll see major construction with the hospital starting shortly. The 2 schools are well underway, in particular the Weir Views one, well under construction, both to be open by next year's school year, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's great. Some events that we've attended this week. On Monday evening, we had the Parliamentary Friends of Thailand. Cast of thousands were at this event. It was in a beautiful residence in Turak. The ambassador of Thailand came down from Canberra for this event, and we had Consul General in Melbourne for Thailand here, and it was a fantastic event. Great festivities, a great celebration of Parliamentary Friends of Thailand. The whole purpose of that is to improve relationship between Victoria and Thailand, trade, student university places for students, things like that, you name it, to have a great working relationship with Thailand. And it was a terrific event. I know everyone enjoyed it. We had a Tamil event in Queen's Hall yesterday, very colourful event, a lot of music, movement, dance, food. It was terrific, and again, it was our wonderful Tamil community that came into Parliament yesterday and showed us their culture and part of their culture, and it was a terrific event for the Tamil community, but also the parliamentary community. It was really good. Today, we've had Hari Krishnas in here today, and I'll get this wrong, but the Holiness Swayam Bangara, look, I'll get his name wrong, Kashusa Swami, a very wise man, young man, that spoke fantastically and spoke about how we need to address and look after ourselves, and he imparted some wisdom and about how the world's changed and all this sort of stuff. But really worthwhile session at lunchtime today with the Swami at lunchtime. And of course, from a local point of view, from a Melton point of view, Wednesday evening we had a screening of Reclaim Voices, which was put together by the African Youth Initiative. They've got a new name now and a new acronym is ASPIRE. This is about the African youth across Melton and Victoria and Australia and how they're being stereotyped. They're not all in gangs, they're not all violent, they're not all criminals. It is an amazing film that they've put together. Local, young, fantastic Australian African community members. Sorry about the bells, and it looks like I've got to go into the chamber. So I apologise for that. That might be enough for us for now. So thanks very much. We'll catch you soon.